Now we're going to demonstrate the proper use of the Chi Machine. If it's not used properly, you're not going to get the maximum benefit. So Pam, if you could come in and join us and demonstrate the Chi Machine. So the first thing we have people do is they have to drink their water. So did you already drink your water, Pam?
Yes.
Okay. The second thing is you want to sit down, put your feet all the way to the end of the Chi Machine, come a little farther, and then go ahead and lay back. You always have to have the handle facing away from you. And if you have it turned around the other way, it will not work properly. Then lift your legs up and put your legs in the ankle stirrups there. And then there's 3 different positions for the arms. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start the Chi Machine first of all. There's a timer on here. Each dot is 2 minutes. So if a person is elderly or sickly, you only want to start them off with 2 minutes or less. If they're in generally good health, you can start them off with 6 minutes. Now if you try to start them off with 2 minutes, it will not start until you turn the timer all the way to the star, which is 6 minutes, and then you can turn it back. So we're going to turn over the 6 minutes position here because Pam's in pretty good health and she's been on the Chi Machine before. Now you can see how her ankles are wiggling really nicely, all the way through to her body, all the way through to her head, and she's aligned up straight on the machine. You always want to make sure people are straight on the Chi Machine. And then once you get started, there's 3 different positions you can use for your hands. The first one is having your hands out like she's got them there. That position is good for release of tension, mood balancing, insomnia, internal organ discomfort, and constipation. The second position you can use if you want to is to put your hands behind your neck, actually behind your, kind of like, just like that. You don't want to lock them, you want to kind of have them just like this. And that position is good for migraines, headaches, bone spurs, misaligned spine, sore back, gout, and arthritis. The third position is over your head and having them laying back like that. That's good for weight loss, shoulder tendonitis, release muscle tension, release nervous pressure, and full and round breasts. Now that's why I don't like that position. All right, now for starters, I usually have people put their hands back at their side and just relax. And when somebody's on the Chi Machine, please do not talk to them. That's their 5 minutes to relax, get the energy flowing, get the oxygen flowing, get the circulation flowing, balancing the spine and everything. And you want to have them actually close their eyes, deep breathe, and just let the machine work them. Now if somebody happens to have bad knees, knee replacements, or the bowed knees, they may need what we call a knee pillow. And then we just slide a knee pillow underneath them like that. Or for people that have bad backs or back pain, the knee pillow will slow the action down a little bit, but it's going to save the knees and save the back. So we tell people, use a knee pillow if you need it. If you don't need it, it's best to not use one because then it gives a little better motion. So you are going to lose a little bit of movement, but again, we've saved people's backs by using that if they're already prone to having a bad back. Now after the Chi Machine stops, you do not move for 2 minutes, and you time people. Do not talk to them, do not say anything, do not get up. If the phone rings, don't answer the phone. What will happen is 60% of the benefit of the Chi Machine occurs after the Chi Machine stops. So that's when you should feel one of 4 things. You should feel either a tingling sensation, a floating sensation, a sinking sensation, or nothing. People that feel nothing are usually elderly, they've had a lot of stress, they probably have a lot of tight muscles. I'll give you an example. I had a gal that was 30 years old and the Chi Machine stopped and I waited 2 minutes and I said, did you feel anything? She said, all I felt was tingling in my fingers. And I said, have you ever been to a massage therapist? She said, no. I said, have you ever been to a chiropractor? She said, no. I said, do you have a lot of stress in your life? She goes, well, I've got 4 kids under the age of 6. So she was blocked up and the energy was not flowing through. Her head barely wiggled. But here's the good news. She started using the Chi Machine, and after about 2 weeks of using the Chi Machine, she felt tingling going from her feet up to her knees. 3 weeks, it went about to her waist. It took 6 weeks, and she was able to get the energy to go all the way through her body. So if you start off in the Chi Machine and you don't feel it right away, it's okay. Like I said, if you've had a lot of stress, a lot of tight muscles, a lot of injuries, you may not feel that all the way through. So you'll feel one of those 4 things. Again, wait 2 minutes. After the Chi Machine stops, do not move. And if you do get up, what will happen is you'll almost be like a drunken sailor. So, I mean, I did that one time. The Chi Machine stopped, and I got up and I answered the phone, and I'm like, hello. So do not do that. Then after it stops, you wait 2 minutes. You can do 3 exercises. The first exercise that people do is bring their knees up to their chest. You can grab your knees with your arms, pull them close to your chest. That stretches the spine this way. The second exercise we have people do is put your hands flat out on the floor and palms down. And if you're flexible enough, then you can rotate your knees all the way to the right and then all the way to the left. And you do that about 2 or 3 times. And again, if you're not very flexible, we don't want you to do that complete stretch the first time. If you're not very flexible and you're elderly, we want you to keep your feet flat on the floor and just rotate just a little bit one way and maybe just a little bit the other way. Okay? We'd rather have you understretch than overstretch. The third position is you put like your left leg flat down the floor. And again, only do this if you're very flexible. Bring your knee up, take your left hand and your right knee and look that way and pull this way. And then again, if you can do that all the way, wonderful. You do that once and then put your other foot down and then bring the other knee up and then pull just the opposite way and look this way. And what that'll do is it'll really give a nice twist to your spine too. And I actually have had my back kind of snap when I do that to give me an adjustment. And then you can roll over and slowly get up. And then it's very important to drink some more water after the machine. And the purpose of the water is it helps detoxify the body, number one, and it helps hydrate the body, and energy flows much better through the body with hydration. Some people are not able to lay down on the floor, so when you can't get somebody that cannot lay on the floor or that has trouble even going into bed, we can let them sit in a chair and put their feet in the Chi Machine. And this is how that works. So basically, you sit in a higher chair so that your knees and legs are straight, almost like an L shape. In fact, I'll move it back just a bit. There you go. And you can see that you get the wiggle motion going from the feet all the way up to the waist. So that's one way of doing it. Again, only if they can't lay down on the floor or they're elderly. Another way of doing it is you can put their hands in it. So I'm going to pretend that I'm a kitchen table. And we're going to go ahead and start up again. And then Pam's going to put her wrists in here. And you can see how you get the wiggle motion now going from the wrists all the way down to about almost the waist. And you can do that a couple of ways. You can actually have them like that, or you can turn your wrists down like that, or you can turn your wrists up. Or you can also even put them farther into it too. And every one of these is going to work different muscles in the body. All right? Now, what happened was I had a gentleman with Parkinson's, and he was not able to get down on the floor. And when I met him, he couldn't walk very well. He couldn't speak very well. His arm, he showed me, he could not raise it above his, he was standing and he could not raise it higher than this, and his fingers were clenched like a claw. And he literally, his wife had to pry his fingers open, put a glass in his hands, close his fingers, put a straw in his cup, and then he was able to take a drink. So we couldn't do the floor. I tried the bed. His wife was too weak to even put him properly in the bed, and I tried to get him in the bed properly, and it still wasn't real good. So we had him sit in a chair just like this, put his feet in the Chi Machine for 5 minutes, and then I had him put the Chi Machine on a kitchen table and put his arms in there just like this and got the wiggle motion going through for 5 minutes. And he used the Chi Machine for 14 days, and 14 days later I came back there, and he met me at the door. His speech was better. His walking was better. He raised his arm above his head, and he was opening and closing his fingers just as fast as I'm doing right here. Needless to say, he was very pleased with the Chi Machine. So again, anytime you got somebody, or if somebody's in a wheelchair and they can't get on the floor, they can just kick the pads out from the wheelchair, put their feet in the Chi Machine. So any of those kind of things are possible. There's also a third way to use the Chi Machine. I'm going to have you step down for a second. Sometimes we have people, as they get older, let's leave the chair right there, they get that extra skin hanging underneath their arm. So what you can do is you can put the Chi Machine at the kitchen table again, and you can sit in a chair and put one arm in there like this. I'll demonstrate that. and you start, of course the kitchen table is going to be firmer, but you start to get that arm going back and forth, and it starts to tighten up that skin there, and then you turn around and do the other arm the other way. And we've had, within about 30 days, that skin underneath the arm has been tightened up. So there's all different kind of ways to use the Chi Machine. We just want to demonstrate all the different ways to use it.